Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome to this week's Saturday morning coffee chat. It is warm, so I have my iced coffee. And you all have probably noticed I am a complete mess right now. And that is because it is warm, so I'm getting out early to get in the garden. And I had a glorious morning in the garden where I got completely dirty. I got so much stuff done. And I kind of want to keep going. So I had planned to take a shower and get all ready for the coffee chat video. And then I thought, whatever. So sorry about this, but it's definitely a gardening day. I'm getting a ton of stuff done, a lot of stuff in the backyard, a lot of stuff planted, all that kind of stuff. So really good day, but I did want to come and I wanted to film the coffee chat while I had my cup of coffee. Okay. So for Saturday coffee chats, they're kind of just an update on what's been going on. Kind of some information, goodness, kind of some information for the gardening world that you all might find interesting. And then I will answer a couple questions or comments left on this week's videos. So the first thing I want to tell you, which is really exciting, is gardendesign.com. I am good friends with them and I love them. I think they're a fantastic company and a fantastic gardening website for resources. I've talked about their webinars before on here. They are on a hiatus for their webinars until the fall, I think August or September. But in the meantime, I wanted to tell you all about a new tool that they have on their website. So it's called the Garden Design USDA Plant Hardiness Zone Plant Recommendations. And basically what it is it's a place that you can go to. You can pick your zone, whatever USDA zone you're in, and then they'll tell you all the best perennials, all the best shrubs, and all the best trees for your zone, which is really cool. I mean, it's such a fantastic tool to have. So now you've heard me talk many times about how the USDA zones are kind of iffy. Like they're kind of, they're not exactly, they're not exact. And what's cool is Garden Design understands that and knows that. They wrote on the page for this, they said, understanding USDA hardiness zones is essential for gardeners, but it's only part of the picture. These zones are based solely on average annual minimum winter temperatures, helping identify which plants can survive winter in specific areas. However, this classification doesn't account for other critical factors like heat, humidity, rainfall, and soil conditions. For example, Zone 9 encompasses part of California and Florida. However, California's Zone 9 climate is hot and dry, while Florida's is hot and humid, resulting in very different growing conditions. Additionally, factors like soil type and local weather patterns can influence plant success within the same zone, making it important for gardeners to consider all aspects of their local environment. See why I love them? I just think that they're great. So they're giving us this tool, this USDA zone tool, which is basically like a starting point for all of you if you're looking for plants that are going to do well in your zone. But then they're saying, like, kind of read a little bit more into it, look a little bit more into it, especially if you live in one of those areas that's a little questionable like I do. I live in the hot and dry Zone 9, as opposed to those of you who live in Florida or maybe South Texas or something that has the hot and humid Zone 9. So I will put a link to the Garden Design Zone Plant Recommendations. I think it is a fantastic tool. Okay, so next thing I wanted to remind you all is next Saturday, June 15th, I'll be at the Greenery in Turlock, California. We are going to have a really fun Summer in the Garden event there. It's from 10 to 3. It is a free event. They request registration just because they're going to have samples and some barbecue, and they just want to know how much that they should have. So make sure you register for that, and I hope to see you all there. Hopefully it's not too hot, but I know that they have like shade cloth and everything overhead. So I think it should be really, really fun. Look who's joining me! Woohoo! So Jason's a mess too, because he was out in the garden with me.
And a little less of a mess than you are.
You have a coffee foam mustache.
You sure you are? I literally just came out so I could just sit near you and listen to you. That's all I was doing.
You're so weird.
I was not trying to be on camera.
Okay.
Let's scoot over.
No, I want you to be on camera. You're a part of this now. You signed up for it, so you gotta be on camera.
I'm so tired, I can't even talk like you.
So we're tired because the girls had a sleepover last night, and They didn't go to bed till 12:30. Meaning we didn't go to bed till 12:30, at least.
At least.
And then
we got up early.
We got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So guess who's taking a nap today? So some of the videos that we did this past week, we did planting the super petunias, doing the hanging baskets in the front yard, and then planting the super petunias in the backyard. I went to San Diego and you did the gravel glue. We set up the hot tub, the Goodland hot tub, which is fantastic. Cool. I mean, we are loving it. And then what else? Oh, and I planted for sightlines. I planted some in the orchard garden. So first question I pulled was from Rochester Grad 74. Here she says, Janie, because your yard is so huge, so vast, wouldn't you be more inclined to plant as many perennials as possible and then only have to fill in the edges and gaps with annuals each year, since your edges and gaps will be vast too? I'm in zone 9B2 and that has been a saving grace for me and also so incredibly beautiful as results. So many perennials for our region are gorgeous. So they are talking about when I was planting in the orchard garden, and yes, I agree with you. The thing that I think I will always say is that like I'm just having fun and I'm not really gardening like as instructed, right? So, and I think that's pretty obvious watching my channel. I don't garden like the recommendations, right? Like if you read a gardening book, they will say, okay, lay out all your pathways first and then put in your evergreens and then follow with your shrubs and your perennials and then finally follow with your annuals.
But if we did that, we would have not planted any plants and we would only have pathways down.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun.
And you're not afraid to like, if you planted something that a pathway needs to go, so you take it out and move it. Yeah. Like, you're not afraid of that. No. And it doesn't feel like a waste.
Yeah. Right. I think that something to remember is that, like, I'm gardening for the fun of it. I mean, I'm gardening to make a beautiful garden as well, but the end point is not my goal. It's never going to be my goal for gardening. It's always going to be the journey of gardening and having fun and working towards something. So I don't really get too bogged down in the rules, like you should do that. Like a lot of people say, oh, you need some evergreen structure, you need this or you need this. And it's like, yeah, totally. I'll get to that one.
I was gonna say, but you're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
Like, you need more trees, and we know we need more perennials. Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah. So right? I guess maybe don't follow all my advice. Is what I'm trying to say. Just take what I do as inspiration and recognize how joyful gardening can be when you don't have to follow all the rules. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. This next question is kind of along those same veins. JRP58 says, the garden's looking really beautiful. Thank you. Question, do you intend to repeat any of the gorgeous combinations you've already planted for continuity? I have no plans for that. I mean, like, I think I would. I think what I do is I plant things and then I look at it and I say, oh, it would be really pretty to have some more of this raspberry superbena here or something like that. But again, I'm just having fun, you guys. I'm just really, really enjoying the process and seeing what I like. And I'm not doing my garden for the final results. Like, I had a couple people say, like, I thought this was a garden renovation channel, right? I said that in the comments. I thought this was a gardening channel. I thought this was a garden renovation channel. Why are you going to San Diego to interview people? Oh, yeah, things like that. Yeah, yeah. And it was like, it's not a garden renovation channel. I mean, it's just a channel of our lives and how we garden and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, it's mostly gardening, but you're going to do other stuff. Yeah. Because life is other stuff.
Yeah, and it's fun and it's enjoyable, and like, I feel like I'm always going to try and learn as much as I can and do the most interesting things I can and hopefully take you all along. So, like, yes, probably it would look better if I did continuity and it would be better for a final picture, but that's not my goal. My goal is to try all these beautiful plants out, plant all these beautiful plants, talk about and learn about all these beautiful plants, and happen to plant them in my garden and cross my fingers that it looks good after I'm done. That's my answer for that. I think most of you know that already about me, though. Okay, next question is from Sandy. She asks, Janie, I love the hanging baskets. You go, girl. Thank you, Sandy. I have a thought and question. You may have mentioned this topic in the past or had thought about it thought about the front of the office with the way the sun hits the front. Have you considered an awning to give some shade? You could do a striped one or whatever idea you would like. Yeah, Sandy, you're totally right. I would love an awning right there.
Yeah.
I just don't know what.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like,
I've thought about it, but like
Michael Glassman designed like this walkway that has a pergola over it, over to the office, which I really like that idea.
Yeah.
But
and then you wouldn't do an awning with that. That would be too much.
Yeah, but I think financially that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No.
Right? So probably having an awning over the office temporarily would be good. It's just a matter of what I want it to be. I really do like the idea of like a black and white striped one, but Tracy from Plaid and Poppies has that. And it's,
you can't just
I know.
straight up copy her.
I can't just totally copy.
Even though her place is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. She's the one who got me into more saturated colors of flowers.
Yeah, she was very bright.
She was just like I said, you know, how do you pick out your colors, Tracy? And she's like, I just want the brightest of the bright colors. And it's like, oh, all right, perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, so I love the idea of an awning over the office. I'm definitely going to do it. I just don't know what yet. The person who's building our metal screen for behind the hot tub, I'm tempted to ask him to see if he can build me something.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a metal awning?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
They have metal awnings.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen, I don't know if that, yeah.
Or maybe just a fabric awning. That would probably be the cheapest. Something.
I'm sure that would be cheaper than metal.
Yeah, for sure. But I just don't know what color fabric. My green fabric? My green and white striped? I don't know.
just slightly different from Tracy.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, Sandy, that's a great idea, and I'm definitely going to do that. Okay, well, definitely. I'm thinking about doing that right now.
We're definitely considering it.
Definitely considering it, yeah. Okay, I Am Jude today says, so many questions. This is about the hot tub video. And there were a lot of comments with a lot of questions. Will you need to cover it when it's not in use? How do you keep the water sanitized? How do you control the temperature? Will you plant around it? What does Goodland recommend for keeping the cedar from aging? Do you want to answer all those?
First one's easy. It definitely has to be covered because especially where we are with all of the dust and leaves and so on, it gets dirty really quickly. Just little bits of stuff get in there. So yes, you have to.
And we have a cover.
We have a cover that they sell that you can get, and we have the cover.
Yeah. So. Can you see that? See the cover? I should have showed that on the video, but I didn't. How do you keep the water sanitized?
You don't.
You don't.
Well, you do, in that you use it and then you empty it and then you clean it. Mm-hmm. And that's how you do it. There's no chemicals. There's no.
They did say you can use hydrogen peroxide in it if you want to, but I don't want to.
Okay. And they said you can clean it with like a lemon solution, I think. Yeah. That was like one of the things, because it will need to be, I mean, I think eventually emptying it and wiping it down isn't going to be, I think it's going to need to be cleaned occasionally.
Yeah. I agree.
You know, and that'll be how we sanitize it. But it's not that big of a tub. I mean, it's bigger than a bathtub, but not that much bigger than a bathtub. So it's not a big deal to empty it and refill it. It's not like we're wasting that much water, you know, or something like that.
And Goodland recommends using that water to water your garden, which is which is what we'll do.
Yep.
So yeah, you don't sanitize it. There's no chlorine or anything in it, and that's kind of the selling point of these tubs, is it's like all natural and all that kind of stuff. You
don't have to worry about chemical balance and all that kind of stuff. If you aren't going to use it for a while, you just empty it and leave it dry. Drain it, leave it dry. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. So how do you control the temperature?
So the temperature, I guess, is a we don't know yet because we haven't used it enough, but it's just controlled by how much wood you put in there. And supposedly we need to get a floating thermometer or something too. Supposedly, once it gets to about 90 degrees, if you've got it full of logs, if you stop adding at that point, then it'll climb up to about 100, 102, 104 or something like that, which is the temperature most people want it at. And then, you know, but I don't know. I don't get the feeling it's going to get too hot. I think you'd have to try really, really hard, you know?
Well, just this morning, the girls were in there and we started the fire for them. And it was, I mean, it was so nice. It was like, right? It felt like we were camping kind of, but not. Yeah. Anyway, and they were in there and we started the fire and we just kind of just let it go and they were perfectly happy.
They were fine.
Yeah. They were, it wasn't too warm or anything like that. Will you plant around it? Yes, absolutely. But in pots, just because we're going to expand the patio a little bit. So I'll be planting pots around it. And then what does Goodland recommend for keeping the cedar from aging?
So I don't know. I read a couple comments that did say that cedar will get gray, which I think I kind of know from the past. So I think.
Remember our pergola at our last house though? That was cedar.
But that was stained.
I know.
Yeah.
We should stain it that color.
Or we could just stain it clear stain.
Okay.
If you like that. I mean, we could, yeah, whatever we want. But I mean, it would be very easy to take those slats out and stain it. So
we should do that.
Yeah, because with the harsh sun that we have on it in the afternoon, yeah, it'll bleach out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, I think we definitely should stain it.
Yeah.
And we should stain the little step stool, little step thing.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah, we will
yes.
stain it. You can stain it whatever. I think you can even paint it too. I don't think Goodland recommends that, but just to keep it natural, not to keep it because it's like the wood heats and all that kind of stuff. They're very clean and they're a clean and natural company.
I would see them not recommending paint. But I don't see anything wrong with staining it just to preserve the color.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that answered your questions about the Goodland hot tub. I'll put the link for it in the description down below. Again, they did provide us with this because I met them at the Northwest Flower and Garden Festival and was very annoying about it. It was like, oh, I'll do such a good job. It'll look so pretty in my garden. And so they're just a great company. They're really fun people and we're really happy with it.
And we're going to have lots more answers to a lot more questions as we use it.
Oh yeah, we'll use it more and we'll be able to answer more questions for you guys. Okay, that was it. Never mind. I only pulled 4 this morning. I only pulled 4 questions because I want to get back out in the garden. So make sure you check out the Garden Designs plant recommendation of For Your Zone tool. It's really, really fantastic. If you live anywhere near Turlock next weekend, the day before Father's Day, what do you want to do for Father's Day anyway? You need to think about something.
I want to have an apricot pie.
Apricot pie?
Okay.
Make sure you go. It's the day before Father's Day at Turlock at the Greenery. And then, yeah, I think that's it. And then do as I say, not as I do in my garden, because I'm just going to have fun with it, right?
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to say it. Yeah. I am not one of those gardeners that will follow instructions and do the right thing all the time. Not
just gardening.
Be quiet. I'm so good. I always follow instructions and directions. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.